Hey there, I hope you are having an outstanding day. And I have a question for you. Do you have a business that you like to promote online, some form, social media, or maybe you promote someone else's products, you have a network marketing business? Do you have some form of business and you know in your heart that you have to use online strategies to grow that? Well, if you do, this is for you. And my name is Susan Sly, and I am the president and CEO of Step Into Your Power, Inc. And I want to share with you a few tools that I've used to monetize online and also share some things that I've done that didn't actually work. And so I want you to grab a pen. This is a great time for you. And when I do these weekly lives, here's who they're for. They're for people who want to make a difference in the world, want to create more value, and definitely want to be able to monetize something, some product or service online. That's what they're for. So anyway, let me get straight to it. The first thing when you're monetizing online is to be able to capture your leads. There are a lot of people who think, oh, I'm just going to post on, say, my personal page, and that's all going to be well and good, and then someone's going to private message me. But you're not really capturing the lead because, one, you might forget to follow up with them. Number two, let's say for some reason you're locked out of your social media, you now don't own that lead and you might not be able to recapture it. So the first thing that I learned is really about gathering my own leads. So back in the day, a million years ago, I was doing a lot of speaking events with some incredible people, including Jim Rohn, the amazing Jim Rohn, the last time he spoke live. And a friend of mine, Jerry Clark, shouts out to Jerry if you see this. Jerry said, I said, Jerry, listen, what is the number one mistake you made as a speaker trainer? And he said, Susan, the number one mistake is I didn't gather leads. And from that moment forward, whenever I was doing a speaking event, and we're talking back in like 2005, 2006, I always made sure that I had a sign up form, and I do things like free draws. I would do, hey, enter to win some kind of like my free CD set or a coaching session or something. And I started to gather leads. And then as I moved, I had my first online business in the early 90s, but as I moved back into the online space, I made sure that I was always doing things to gather leads. And they can include things like I have free ebooks, white papers, video coaching series. It could be all sorts of things. Those things are called lead magnets. But your leads, write this down, your leads are your power. Hey, Jess, it's great to see you. And Dawn, your leads are your power. When you really think about it, the more leads you have, the more likely it is that someone is going to buy from you. And so when I see people and they're trying to promote themselves and all they're doing is posting, but they're not gathering, they're not very likely to monetize in the long term. So the first thing is really make sure that you have a way to gather your leads and you have multiple streams of leads. Don't ever put your eggs all in one basket. So that's the first thing. The second thing, as you're wanting to monetize online, is being very clear about who you want to have a dialogue with. And in marketing terms, we call this your avatar. That's your ideal customer. And your ideal customer, think of your ideal customer like your best friend. This person is someone you want to hang out with. You understand their language. You know their pain points. You know what keeps them up at night. You also know what wakes them up first thing in the morning. And how is it that your product or service really connects to that person and helps them? And so knowing this, especially if you're going to start to do some online advertising, is really important. And I always suggest to my clients that they create a profile, and you can even just draw a stick figure, or maybe you're super artistic and it's going to look beautiful. Drawing a stick figure and writing out the characteristics, woman in her 40s, college educated, household income of X, Y, Z, or Z, depending where you live, doesn't feel like herself, feels overwhelmed at times, has a muffin top, whatever it is, and put that up where you can see it. So when you are posting, when you're creating, when you're putting yourself out there, speak to her specifically if that's who your avatar is. But you know directly who your avatar is, and all of your conversations want to be directed to that person. The next thing is you're gathering leads. And lead gathering, my friends, is a daily basis. You don't just, build one funnel and you're done. You want to have multiple ways to gather those leads. So you're gathering leads, you know who you're speaking to. And the next thing is really, what is your irresistible offer? So what an irresistible offer is, it's something that someone literally can't resist. It's a reason that they're going to pull out their credit card and want to buy. So if you're in network marketing, and I am one of the few direct marketers that actually talk about network marketing because I've done very well in network marketing. If you're in network marketing, when your company has a promotion, maybe it's a free membership or free shipping or something, that can be an irresistible offer. That's a time when your ideal customer, maybe they've been sitting on the fence, they're like, yes, I want to save that, $35 or whatever it is. So that's why you always want to be paying attention to that. And if you've been collecting your leads, then you can either direct SMS. I use a lot of direct texting. You can email them. You can do all sorts of things to get their attention. And that's why when someone gets a text, or when someone gets a direct Facebook message, or when someone gets an email, that's more of a personal conversation. And that's why it's so important to be using different tools that are going to do that for you. So one of the, in the network marketing company I'm in, there was a promotion not that long ago, and I was actually traveling in Europe, and, it was awesome, and I was, 16-hour days, I was at a conference, and the promotion came out, and it literally took me 3 minutes to deploy that to thousands and thousands of people, because I had gathered my leads, I had all of my customers in one place, I had the texting plugged in. It was very easy to do all of that, right? So that's why when you have an irresistible offer, and sometimes it can happen like that, especially if you're promoting another product or service for a company, then you don't always have control when those promotions come out, but you do have control, write this down if you're taking notes, about when you can deploy it. Okay, so that's what makes the difference. So if you are creating, I also have a company where I get to create my own products and services. I'm a very creative entrepreneur. If you get to create your own products and service, what is your irresistible offer? So are you able to offer a discount? Can it be a time discount? Can you put a countdown timer in there? So if someone takes advantage of your offer in the next 24 hours, that, remember old TV ads, buy now and pay $19.99, right? If someone takes advantage of your offer in a time period, can they save money? Or if they buy your product or service, can you tack on something for free? Or, one of the most successful companies out there had, they have amazing ads on television, a lot of actors in their ads, and it's skincare. And it's like, buy now and receive a free month, or a free, second cleanser or something like that. That's called an irresistible offer. There's always a time commitment, so that people can't just sit on the fence. And so make some notes. What is your irresistible offer? The next thing is knowing your X factor. Your X factor is what sets you apart. Why is someone going to buy from Susie or Hadass or whoever it is versus someone else? So what is your X factor? What makes you different? And this is something personally I check in with myself all the time. You may look at me, especially if you know me, and you may think, oh, girl's got it all together or whatever. Like, I'm just like you. I wake up and put 2 feet on the floor just like you do. I sometimes second guess some of the things I'm thinking about. One of the things for me, and one of the aspects of my X factor, is even despite all that, I have pushed myself to accomplish. And some of you, I'm a certified coach, and you're like, pushing yourself. Yeah, embrace the word pushing myself, because there have been times, whether I've been 9 months pregnant, and P.S., if you don't know me, I have 5 kids. I train on productivity, and as an aside, a mom with 5 kids who's a multimillionaire training on productivity, I do have some things I can teach. Anyway, I do have those times, as I said, whether I'm 9 months pregnant or I'm a little bit tired or whatever, it's just thinking about, is this really the best decision or what have you? So sometimes I have to push myself. But I do have a long list. Jesse Itzler, who I had on my podcast show, it's the Susan Slide Project on iTunes. He started Marquis Jet. He started Zico Coconut Water. He's married to Sarah Blakely, who started Spanx. Jesse said, I'm not interested in where someone goes to school or what have you. What I'm interested in is their body of works. And we all have them. Delisa has them. Susie has them. Hadass has them. Everyone has a body of works. So what is your body of works? Have you had kids? Have you accomplished accomplished something in business? Have you written books? What is that X factor? So I know for myself, I'm very clear on my X factor. I've been the #1 sales producer in 2 multinational brick and mortar companies. I've run 6 Boston marathons. I've done the Ironman triathlon and finished top 10 in the pro division for women with a fractured pelvis. I've given birth to 4 kids. I have 5 kids. I've spoken and trained in many countries around the world. The list goes on and on and on. Those are my bodies of works. That gives me my X factor, but it's not about me. It's about what your X factor is. And once you get clear on it, that's what will set you apart, why people will buy from you. And another strategy I want to give you for monetizing online is, ladies and gentlemen, just ask for the sale. Some of you are holding back. You don't ask for the sale. And it's so important. One of the top reasons people buy from you is not simply that they like and trust you, it's because they asked. Have you ever bought Girl Scout cookies or Girl Guide cookies, depending where you live? And those little Girl Guides, I used to be a Girl Guide in Canada. They come to your door and it's like knock, knock, knock. And, they're looking at you with their big, anime eyes and batting their eyelashes, and you're like on a diet. You fork over the money and you buy 3 boxes of cookies. You did so because they asked, right? And even buying something you didn't necessarily want, Jessica says, I'm guilty of that. And it's the same thing. You've got to ask. Some of you are growing great lists and you're doing amazing things, but you're not asking enough. And you're not asking for, the next tip I want to give you is about asking for referrals. That has to be a constant. If I gave you great service, would you be willing to give me 3 referrals? If you feel very fulfilled working with me, would you be able to make a list of 3 to 5 people that you also think would also want to have this experience? And so some of this, my friends, you may say, oh my gosh, Susan, that's common sense. But just because something is common sense doesn't mean it is common action. And so monetizing online is huge. It is definitely the place where so many people are going. And if you're in business, you are in digital marketing, whether you want to be or not. So when is now the best time to learn it? So if this has been of value to you, #1, ask not, receive not. I would love for you to share it on your social media. That's #1. #2, I do read all of your comments, all the things you're learning, all the things you're committed to. Tomorrow, or depending what day you're watching this, Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a webinar with my friend Riel Andrews, who's an Emmy Award-winning actor, on 5 strategies to monetize online. So even though I got into some of them just a little bit, tomorrow I am going to be very, very direct in terms of it. And when you leave there, you're going to have clarity. And so I'm going to be providing strategies for you. And if you are already doing business with me, you're part of the Agency 8, I would love for you to come, bring some friends. And if you are sort of curious about how you can monetize your brand, your product and service online, I would love to invite you. It's always my goal to add value to people. And so with that, take care. Go out there and rock it. The world needs more of you. And I really hope to see you on Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific.